We're trying to. Okay, so lawyer is here. Lawyer, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, sir. How about you, sir?
I'm doing excellent by grace.
We thank God. Lawyer, so let me pose this question to you. Should marriage be a contract renewable by 2 years?
It's an interesting question. There is no straightforward answer. I say so because it is a fact that the foundation of marriage is agreement and consent. Agreement between the two individuals involved that they want to live together as husband and wife. And consent and agreement between the two families of the two individuals that their children should live together as husband and wife. Now, beyond that foundation, the institution of marriage is also guaranteed and protected by the states for the continuation of family. And so, yes, although it is by agreements and ordinarily in ordinary agreements or contracts, the parties are free to enter and they are free to get out. When it comes to the institution of marriage, it's a special form of contract where it is not possible to get in and get out by yourself. Once you get in, the law protects that relationship because the law actually imposes a duty on both parties. And it is only the law that can take that marriage away or death that can take that marriage away. So that is why it cannot be a contract or an ordinary contract which should be renewable every 2 years. Although, I mean, people would say it should be.
All right. So for those who are advocating for this particular marriage contract, what would you say to them?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because, as I said, the state by law is interested in the continuation of families. And so the desire that there should be a contract renewable cannot work. But it is possible for the parties to decide that, okay, for this marriage, we are not going to do it under the ordinance. It should be customary law marriage. Even that, well, for that, you don't need a decree of a court for the marriage to be dissolved. Okay. The families can come together and say, okay, after 2 years, it's not working. You guys can go away. I mean, can go your separate way. Then it can be dissolved customarily. Or the parties can decide to live in concubinage, stay together as, concubines. If after 2 years you realize that you're not compatible or it's just not working, you move away. But even in that, if you live for a long time in the eyes of everybody in the community as husband and wife, then the law presumes that you are husband and wife, but that marriage is not ordinance. It's only customary law marriage, a form of customary law marriage. So that is the only way under the current situation that you can, have that short-term relationship and go away if it's not working. But once you move it away from that and brings it under the domain of ordinance law or ordinance marriage, then you have locked yourself. You can't get out unless there's a decree of divorce or death.
All right. Bigger question. Oh, question be a lawyer.
A little bit of question I want to ask the lawyer. Lawyer, so it's not important that we should get the contract married for 6 months.
Sorry, say that again.
Before my kind of
lawyer, if I get the import of what he was trying to put across, he says, so you are saying it's not important
exactly
to get a 6-month marriage.
Yeah.
And yes, I know.
Precisely.
Yes,
Baby, I'm quite rough on
You can
Are you ready?
you can speak the truth. I
Lawyer's ready.
understand.
Mbese me wie boys aka share me say the kind so aka be lawyer, is it important that we should marry under the 6 months or above the 6 months?
No, there is no law like that. There is no minimum duration of marriage. The presumption by law is that once the marriage happens, it is meant to last for a lifetime of the two people involved.
Hey.
So it is that because at the end of the day, after a product of that marriage will be the bringing forth of new lives into this world. That imposes burdens on both parties, the man and the woman, towards this new life that they have brought. The law says they must be responsible for that life. So they can't get into the marriage for just a short term and say, okay, we are done. Let's go away. No, it's not possible.
But what you say?
I will.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay, Abna.
Okay, lawyer, the question that I have, you said something that I really liked, and that had to do with the fact that you were saying that if the two people are, let's say, like in a concubinage, there's a more chimp name word saying, and then the community sees them, moving around like husband and wife, the law would see them like that. Could you kindly expand that part for me? Because there are a lot of people who are, let's say, cohabiting, and then if this law could help them, especially the women, I would really love it. So if you could explain that part.
Okay, so there are there are two main, for the purposes of presenting, there are three main types of marriages under Ghanaian law. There is the customary law marriage, there is the Mohammedan marriage, and then there is the ordinance marriage. Now, when it comes to the customary law marriage, there are different types of customary law marriage recognized by the law. There is the regular customer or the formal customary law marriage, which is where the man and his family goes to the woman's family to ask for her hand in marriage, present gifts. If that is accepted, then the marriage contract comes into being under customary law. But there are about 4 other categories of customary law marriage, which are recognized as informal customary law marriage. So one of those was what I described, which is where both parties have met, they like each other, they decided to move into an apartment and live together as if they are man and wife, but they are not married. They attend family events together, they live together, then children come in for a long time. Everybody in the community sees them as husband and wife. That's the law recognizes as marriage. And any rights that a person who is formally married under customary law or even ordinance is entitled to, the parties into that informal marriage are also entitled to it. They can also go to court and seek, remedy. Apart from that, if a man and woman see each other, they get intimate, pregnancy comes in. Again, that's once the pregnancy is accepted and the man is accepted by the woman's family, that is the questionable kind of thing, then it means that a marriage is informally contracted. Okay. And then there are 2 other categories. So yes, the law protects those relationships.
Lawyer Afedo, so grateful to you this morning for explaining. But please, we're continuing this, God willing, Thursday. And so we would call on you once again.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You have a blessed day.